The following items seem to indicate in evidentiary fashion that Barack Obama was born in Kenya. The evidence is condemning. In a court of law, the evidence would be practically overwhelming. If what you are about to see were to be corroborated as true, it would mean that the birth certificate that Obama presented to the world, indicating a Hawaiian birth, was a fabricated forgery. If that is so, then Obama would be complicit in a federal crime and a fraud perpetrated upon the American people of unprecedented proportions. Consider the following evidence. According to an article in the Kenyan Daily National newspaper in July of 2010, the Kenyan government was planning to build a cultural center at Kogelo. The Daily Nation, which published an artist's sketch of the proposed Kogelo Cultural Center, referred to it as Obama's ancestral home. But a Kenyan National Security Service memo, released in PDF format, clearly states that the building of this center was to, quote, honor the birthplace of President Obama and rededicate the tomb of Barack Obama Sr., the president's late father. This is a 2010 Kenyan National Security Service memo, a pretty authoritative source. In March of 2010, Kenyan Parliament member James Orengo is documented to have asked Kenya's Parliament publicly, quote, how could a young man born here in Kenya, who is not even a Native American, become the President of America? On the day after Obama's election, Parliament member Bonai Kwalwali asked fellow members, quote, could we allow a motion for adjournment so that we could also continue the celebrations of having a Kenyan ruling the United States of America? In addition, National Public Radio, NPR, prior to his election as president, reported Barack Obama's birthplace as Kenya. Another reference was made in 2008 in the Nigerian Observer. Under a Washington Dateline, the author of the article wrote, Americans will today go to the polls to elect their next president with Democratic Party candidate Senator Barack Obama largely favored to win. The Kenyan-born senator will, however, face a stiff competition from his Republican counterpart. An African travel magazine reported, quote, as Kenyan-born U.S. Senator Barack Obama jets into Kenya today as part of his African tour, etc., etc. That article is still carried online. Also, an African news site and an MSNBC broadcaster referred openly to President Obama's birthplace as being in Kenya.
In Ghana, anticipation of the Obama's visit has gripped the West African nation for weeks. Our own Mara Schiavo Campo is in the capital city of Accra with a look at how the locals are celebrating President Obama's arrival. Mara, good evening.
For these vendors selling souvenirs, it makes no difference that President Obama's family is from an entirely different country.
Barack Obama is Kenyan, but Ghanaians are still proud of him.
Yeah, because you're African and you're proud of him.
The anticipation isn't just...
It seems that almost everyone knows that Obama was born in Kenya. Everyone except the United States Congress and the United States federal courts, both of which refuse to investigate this condemning information and evidence. They had no problem investigating John McCain, a United States war hero and prisoner of war. But they can't seem to bring themselves to admit that they, the Congress and the courts, may have allowed the office of President of the United States of America to be usurped by a foreign power.